Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. We're going to be talking about how virtual assistants are changing the game for small businesses. So picture this. You're a small business owner, you're juggling a million things, customer calls, inventory, all of it, and it's a lot.
Oh, it definitely can be. It's where virtual assistants, VAs, are really stepping in to make a difference. They're not just some trendy solution anymore. They're becoming like a core part of smart businesses.
I like that, a core part. And we're lucky today because we're going behind the scenes with the DigiPalms Podcast. It's hosted by Kenny Martiny. We're looking at an episode called Small Business Secrets, How Virtual Assistants Are Driving Big Results.
Yeah, Kenny's perspective is really interesting here because the DigiPalms actually provides fully trained VAs, especially for media and marketing. So he's not just, theorizing. He's talking about what really works.
He's in the trenches. Okay, so let's dive into it. One of the first things that really stood out to me was Kenny's focus on the financial benefits. He's saying VAs can really cut down on those overhead costs.
Yeah.
What makes that possible?
Well, think about the traditional costs of employees, office space, equipment, benefits. Those all kind of disappear with the VA. And those savings can be huge, especially for, newer businesses or if you have a really tight budget. It could be the difference between struggling to stay afloat and actually having the resources to grow.
I can definitely see that. Office space, just that alone is a huge expense for a lot of businesses.
Absolutely. And beyond just, saving money, VAs also give you a flexibility that's really hard to get with traditional employees. Kenny talks about how they can adapt to changes in workload, scale their hours up or down when you need it.
So you're not stuck with that fixed salary. You have the support when you need it.
Exactly. It's almost like a safety net for your business. If things slow down, you adjust. If you've got a huge project, boom, you have the resources without, breaking the bank.
And that actually leads right into another point Kenny makes about the skills that VAs bring to the table. It's not just, answering emails and stuff. They're handling everything from customer relations to even social media.
The range of skills is incredible these days. In the podcast, he gives this example of a VA who managed a whole company's social media, created marketing materials, even did some bookkeeping. They become this super versatile extension of the business, and it frees up the owner to think big picture.
Makes you think, what could you actually do if you could hand those tasks off, right?
Powerful question, right? Imagine having all that time to develop new products, build relationships, or just, breathe.
I know what some listeners might be thinking, though. How do you actually bring a VA into your business? Seems like it could be a logistical nightmare.
That's a common worry, but Kenny says it's actually a lot easier than people think. He talks about using tools like Slack, Asana, and Zoom, things a lot of businesses already use.
So you're not learning some whole new system, becoming a tech expert overnight.
Exactly. These platforms make working together and managing tasks incredibly simple. Communicate, assign tasks, track progress, all of it, and it's all stuff you probably already know how to use.
That's a relief to hear. A lot of people think working with a VA means this huge tech overhaul.
And that fear keeps so many businesses from seeing the potential.
Speaking of potential, Kenny also talks about how VAs can be a real game changer for customer service. They can manage inquiries, schedule appointments, even handle follow-ups.
It's about creating that smooth, positive customer experience that builds loyalty. If you're not stuck dealing with every single interaction, you can focus on building those key relationships and think about long-term strategy.
It's not just putting out fires, it's about that high-level service that really sets you apart.
And I think one of the most exciting things is Kenny's point about the global talent pool you can access with VAs. It's not just about finding someone local. It's about finding the absolute best person for the job wherever they are.
Opens up a whole new world, right? Imagine having experts working in different time zones. Your business could basically run around the clock.
That's the kind of edge VAs can give you, small businesses operating like global companies.
And that brings us to the DigiPalms specifically. They're not just listing any random VAs. They actually vet them, train them, monitor their performance, all to guarantee quality.
That's a big difference. You're not just hoping for the best. You're getting a VA who's ready to support your business effectively.
Takes the guesswork out of it. What really impressed me was Kenny talking about matching VAs to the specific needs of each business.
Yeah, he gets that a one-size-fits-all approach just doesn't work with VAs. You need someone with the right skills, but also the right personality to fit into your company culture.
It sounds like the DigiPalms is going beyond just, providing a service. They're providing a solution.
It's a partnership, not just a transaction. And that kind of commitment can be huge for a small business owner.
So we've covered a lot here. Financial benefits, flexibility, skills, how easy it is to integrate them, the boost to customer service, and that global talent pool. It's quite a list.
It's hard to deny the potential of VAs, but the biggest thing is don't just jump on the bandwagon. Figure out how VAs can specifically benefit your business.
It's about knowing where you're feeling overwhelmed, where you're spending too much time on things you could delegate, where you need that extra set of skilled hands to help you achieve your goals.
And that's where places like the DigiPalms can be so valuable. They can help you find the perfect VA, hire them, and manage them so they fit your needs and your ambitions.
It's a strategic investment in your business, an investment that can pay off big time in the long run.
Work smarter, not harder. I think every small business owner I know would agree with that. Couldn't agree more. You know, let's think about our listeners for a second. They might be hearing all this and thinking, okay, this all sounds amazing, but how would a VA actually help my business?
Right. Like, how does this actually play out in the real world? What are some examples of how VAs are helping businesses succeed?
So Kenny tells the story in the podcast about this small e-commerce business, and they were just swamped with customer inquiries, orders, just couldn't keep up. They were at their limit, spending all their time on these tasks that are important but take forever.
I bet a lot of business owners know that feeling. Too busy working in the business to work on the business.
Exactly. So this owner, they decide to hire a VA specifically to take care of customer service and all the shipping logistics, and it was a total game changer for them.
Wow. I'm curious, what was the impact?
Well, once they handed off those tasks, the owner finally had time to focus on marketing and new products. And guess what? Their sales went way up.
So it's not just about surviving, it's about actually growing.
Right. The VA was like this spark that let the owner focus on the stuff that really makes a difference.
A strategic asset, not just someone to check off a to-do list.
Something Kenny emphasized that really resonated with me was this. Before you hire a VA, know exactly what you need from them. It's not just about checking off skills on a list.
You have to be clear about what you want to achieve and how a VA can help you get there.
Exactly. Kenny suggests making a really detailed task list outlining everything you want the VA to do. That way, you're more likely to find a good fit from the start.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Set those expectations up front. Avoid surprises later on.
He also suggests having like a trial period, see how the VA performs if they're a good match for how you work and your company culture.
Like a test drive.
Exactly. And this is where the DigiPalms approach is really different. They don't just look at skills, they try to understand the VA's personality, their work ethic, to make sure it's a good fit for the client.
So they're not just like throwing you in and hoping for the best.
No, it's way more personalized. And then you've got their training and monitoring system. It's not enough to just find the VA. You got to support them so they can succeed.
They're invested in both sides, the VA and the client.
Totally. And that can be huge for a business owner who's already got a ton on their plate.
One thing I've been thinking about is communication. How do you effectively manage communication with a VA, especially if they're in a different time zone or even a different country?
That's a great point. And Kenny talks about that in the episode. He says you have to set up clear communication channels right from the start. Maybe you have regular check-ins or use project management tools to see everyone's progress. And definitely video conferencing for face-to-face, even if it's virtual.
So being proactive, finding a system that works for both of you.
Exactly. And tech is a huge part of that. Tools like, we've mentioned them, Slack, Asana, Zoom, all of those make it so easy to stay connected and work together no matter where you are.
It's kind of wild to think about how technology is making it possible to work with people all over the world. And small businesses can really benefit from that global talent.
Totally changes the game.
So for a listener who's maybe intrigued by the idea of a VA but feeling a little overwhelmed, what's a good first step?
I think the biggest thing is to change how you think about it. Don't think of a VA as another expense. Think of it as an investment in growing your business and giving yourself a break.
It's realizing that asking for help, delegating, that's not a weakness, it's actually really smart.
Exactly. Once you've made that shift, I'd say do some research. Figure out what parts of your business could use the most support.
Think about what tasks are taking up all your time. Are there skills you don't have that a VA could bring in?
When you know what you need, then you can start to figure out what kind of VA would be the best fit, what skills they need to have.
And then resources like the DigiPalms can be super helpful. They can walk you through finding a VA, vetting them, and getting them set up in your business.
They take out the guesswork, which is a big relief for busy entrepreneurs.
It's about finding a partner, someone you trust, who can help you navigate this whole world of virtual assistants.
It's knowing you don't have to do it all on your own. There's help out there, so you can build a successful business without burning yourself out.
Sounds like the DigiPalms is the place to go if you're thinking about trying out a VA, especially for media and marketing.
Oh yeah, throughout the whole podcast, Kenny keeps saying they're not just a directory, they're a whole team of experts. They really want to make those perfect matches between businesses and VAs.
And focusing on VAs specifically for media and marketing, that's got to be a huge advantage for people in those industries.
Absolutely. They get it, the challenges, the opportunities, and they can match you with a VA who has the exact skills and experience to really make a difference.
So you're not just dumping work on someone, you're finding someone who can help you succeed. Someone who gets your industry, helps you reach your goals.
Exactly. And that's what makes the DigiPalms approach so different. It's not just a service, it's like they're solving a problem for you.
Okay, so let's say our listener is feeling inspired, ready to take the leap. What would you recommend they do?
Well, Kenny actually lays it out pretty clearly in the podcast. Go to the DigiPalms website, thedigipalms.com, and fill out their form.
And I'm guessing they're not just going to send you like a random list of VAs.
Oh no, he makes it clear it's super personalized. They start by talking to you, really understanding what you need, your goals, even your company culture.
It's about finding the right person, not just filling a spot.
Exactly. Once they know what you're looking for, they'll match you with a VA that has the skills, the experience, and the personality to fit right into your business.
And of course, they handle all the training and support to make sure everyone's happy and doing well.
Yep. Kenny stresses over and over they're not just making a match, they're bringing their expertise to the table.
That's a big deal. It's not just about getting tasks done, it's about finding a partner to help you grow.
I think that's the core of what we've talked about today. VAs aren't a luxury anymore. They're how smart businesses are getting ahead, especially in this crazy competitive world.
Work smarter, not harder, right? Free up your time so you can focus on what you're best at.
And you don't have to do it alone. There's help out there, people who can help you build the business you always wanted.
So if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're ready for that next step, but you're not sure how to get there, go to thedigipalms.com.
That's it. Fill out the form, talk to their team, and see what it's like to have a VA who can really make a difference.
And don't forget, they're the experts for media and marketing VAs. So if that's you, you're in the right place.
With the DigiPalms, it's more than a match, it's expertise.
That wraps up our deep dive into the world of virtual assistants. We hope you found it useful.
Remember, the way we work is changing, and VAs are leading the way.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep innovating, and reach for that full potential.
Thanks for tuning in to another engaging session on the DigiPalms Podcast. Don't leave just yet. Subscribe to join our community and never miss out on our cutting-edge discussions. See you next time.